Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a mesh durag. If that's something that you're interested in, you should keep on watching. For yarns today I'm going to be using this yellow yarn. It is the Yeye yarn. It is 100% acrylic, and I am going to say it is a fingering weight yarn, or a very light spot weight. And for crochet hook I will be using 5.0. I am going to be double stranding this to create this fabric. Okay, to start off, decide how long you want your durag to be. Do you want it to be this long or just a short durag? Whatever you decide, take out 5 inches. That is where this edge slope is going to be. For instance, if you want your durag to be 30 inches long from here to here, you need to chain long enough for 25 inches. So we are starting from here, the center of the durag. If you want your durag to be 20 inches long, you need to take out 5 inches, so you chain long enough for 15 inches. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making my durag 25 inches long, so I will chain long enough for 20 inches. I'll make a slip knot. Again, I am double stranding, make it slip knot like so, and I'll chain long enough to get to 20 inches, because I want my durag to be 25 inches long. I'm just going to pull this out. I'm going to say not to tightly chain this so it's not too stiff. I am not counting how many chains I'm making. You could, if you like to. It would be better to chain an even number if you are going to be counting, but if not, it's fine. I'm not counting. Now I have 20 inches long. I'm just going to measure so you can see it's 20 inches long. The next thing I'm going to do is to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. After chaining 4, I'll yarn over and double crochet into the 5th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th. I'll place my first double crochet like so. I'll chain 1, skip 1, and place a double crochet into the next. I'll chain 1, skip 1, and place another double crochet into the next. So essentially we are crocheting mesh. So skip 1, double crochet into the next. I am being very light-handed with this because I don't want the durag to be too stiff. But if you prefer your durag to be sturdier, then you might even want to go down in hook size or have like a tighter tension. So I will continue to do this till I get to the end of the chains. I place a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and place a double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and place double crochet into the next. Guys, a happy coincidence, I ended up having an even number of chains. Like I said, it doesn't matter. If I did not have an even number, I would just leave the last stitch or the last chain. So what I'm going to do is I will chain 1, skip 1, and then I will double crochet into the last or the first chain space like so. So now I have completed the first row. So to create this hood on top of the durag, I'm going to be placing increases. I'll show you how to do that. First, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can either chain 4 or 5 depending on what your tension is like. I think I'm going to chain 5. So I've chained 5. I'll place double crochet into the mesh space, not the stitch space. So into this space like so. Then I'll chain 1. I'll place another one into the next. So I like to place my increases on the second space rather than the first. So I'm going to chain another one and place another mesh stitch into the same second space. So now I have increased just so I can create this hood so that my durag will grow as I'm crocheting. So this hood, chain one. Now I am no longer placing increases or decreases till I get to the end of the row. So I'm just going to walk all the way to the end, come back without increases or decreases, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, now I have gotten to the end of my chain or my work. I'm just going to place my last double crochet. So because this is the bottom part of the durag, which is here, I am not placing any increases or decreases at this end. All my increases are going to be at the other end. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn my work and double crochet into the mesh space. No increases, no decreases. I will continue to place one double crochet into each mesh space while also chaining one in between. So chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. I will do this. So this is my third row. I will do this till I get to the other end and I'll tell you what to do. A little thing to note, sometimes when you are making meshes like this, your tension might vary and your project can curve up like this or start to cave in. What you can do to release that tension is, instead of chaining just one, chain 2, but still place it in the same spot that you would ordinarily. So this will relax your project. But I won't do this too much. Like now, I only need one. So after placing this one, I can see that my project has kind of relaxed. But if you feel like you need one more, I would go one more. But I won't do more than 2 for this length. So that's like a tip you can use to like control your tension when you're making meshes. So now we are coming up to the other side where we place the increase. I'm just going to continue to place my double crochets. So now this is where I placed my increase. So I'll place one in between this that look like a V. I'll chain one, place the next one here. I'll chain one and place the last one in the last space. So you see that you're starting to have your increases. So going the other way, if you need to put a stitch marker to remember where you are placing your increases, so you don't place it on the other side. So we are only placing our increases on this side. So I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn my work, place my first double crochet, chain 1, place my next double crochet, and this is where I'm deciding to place my increases. I'll chain another one and place it in the same space, chain like that. So again, no more increases or decreases. I'm going to walk all the way down and back, and I'll show you what to do. I'm now on the 5th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm coming up to the increase that I placed in the 4th row. I'm just placing double crochets, chain, place double crochet in my increase, chain, place another one in the next space, chain one and place the last one. So now coming back, I'm going to be placing an increase. So essentially what we are doing is, when you crochet the first row, no increase. When you're coming back on the second row, you place an increase. When you crochet the third row, no increase. When you're coming back on the fourth, you place an increase. When you crochet the fifth, no increase. So you are placing increases on the even number. So coming back, how I know for sure even if I'm doing this in the dark, where I'm placing my increases is here, my tail from when I began my chains. So I'm going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place my double crochet here, chain 1, place 1 double crochet here, chain 1, place another one in the same space. So that's essentially the pattern. You are placing increases on the row, or the even number row, just the even number on one side of it. So you continue to do this till you get to the 18th row. So now I am working on the 6th row. I'll do this till I get to the 18th row, and I'll come back to show you how to place the tie. Guys, this is me from the future. I have already completed the durag. So I lost the clip and I'm coming here to refilm it. I'm going to show you how to measure for where to put the ties. So when you're on the 18th row, you measure from the top of the durag, from here. Measure anything from 7 to 8. I find that between 7 and 8 is like the sweet spot. If you want this tie to be longer, or the top of the durag to be longer before you attach your ties, you can do 8. But if you prefer it to be shorter, maybe you have a smaller head, then I'll advise to do 7. So on the 18th row, you measure 7 to 8 inches, and then you place a stitch marker there on the 18th row. So when you get to the 18th, when you get to the stitch marker, then you chain. You'll see that in the remainder of the video. So again, you measure from the top of the durag on the 18th row, or whatever row you are deciding to split for ties, like so. Place a stitch marker, then you count the number of meshes, so that on the other side you do the exact same thing. That is how you split for the ties. Okay, I've gotten to where my stitch marker is, so I'm just going to place my last double crochet here. So instead of continuing this pattern that we have been working on, I will chain 120. You can do lower or higher than that, depending on how long you want your ties to be. So this is actually 120. This is how long it is, as you can see. So I'm just going to chain 120. 1, 2, this is where you count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've chained 120. I'm just going to lay this flat so I know what side of the chain I'm working on, because now we are going back this way all the way to the top of the durag. So turning my work, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and place my first double crochet in the 5th space from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This might be a bit finicky, but just hang on. So again, I'm making sure that my chain is flat, so that by the time I get to this part of the durag, I can just continue to work on this part of the durag, so growing it this way, so the ties can grow like this. So again, we'll resume the same pattern. I'm chaining 1, skip 1 chain space, and work into the next. Chain 1, skip, and work into the next. So I'll continue to do this until we get to this part, until we get to this point where I have my stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do. Now I have completed the mesh on the ties. So now I'm just going to work up the durag. So from here, I have chained 1. I'm going to place 1 double crochet in this mesh space. Now I have attached the ties to the durag. So again, I'm chaining 1, just the same thing, and this is technically my 19th row, so it will not be having any increases. So I'm just going to work this up without any increases. So now again, I'm going to chain 5, done my work, and now I'm just going to be working from the top of the durag all the way down to the ties, like so. So now this will be my 20th row that is going to have an increase, and on my 21st row no increase, and that's where I'm going to be stopping. Like I was saying, this is my 19th row. I'm going to work all the way down for my 20th row. I'm going to be placing an increase since it's an even number. So one, here I'll place an increase. One, two. Then I'm going to work this all the way down on top of the ties, like here, and walk back. On my 21st row, that's going to be the end of this side of the durag. So as you can see here, the durag has 3 rows for the ties. 1, 2, 3. So we have 1. I'm going to do 2, 3, and we are done for this side of the durag. I'll show you how to attach your yarn and do the same thing on this other side. Okay guys, I have now completed the ties, or one of the ties. So it has 3 rows like I mentioned, 1, 2, 3. If you count from this side all the way up here, you're going to have 21 rows, 18 for the main body of the durag, and then 3 for the ties. I will now cut my yarn, have some tail that I can weave in later. Cut my yarn. So now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we have 2 sides. So at the bottom of the durag, I will just be joining or attaching my yarn rather. So I'll slip stitch, attach my yarn like so. Then I will start to do the same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I chain 4. I'll create this mesh stitch across this side of the durag for the other side, so no increases and no decreases, just mesh stitches. Chain 1, place another one here, chain 1, place another one here. I'll continue to do this till I get to the top of this durag, and I'll come back to let you know what to do. Okay, now that I have gotten to the top of the durag, so this is the first row of the second side of the durag. I'm going back this way now, so this is where I'm going to be placing my increases. So we are essentially going to be doing the same thing that we did on this side on the other side. So coming up, no increases, going down, increase. So now I'm just going to chain 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on your tension or your preference. Then I will work 1 double crochet at the top here. I'll chain 1, work 1 double crochet into the second mesh space, chain 1, and work another one into the same space. So I have placed my first increase. So now I'm just going to work all the way down without any increases or decreases. So again, you're just going to be doing everything that you did on this side on the other side. So you're going to do this for 18 rows, and then you split for the ties like I showed you on the 18th row, and then you do that. Then you work 3 rows, so you have 21. So everything you've done on this side, we create on the other side, and I'll come back to show you how to seam the top of the durag and essentially put in the finishing touches. So this is what it is looking like. I have completed the other side of the durag. It is identical to the first side. So you would have, or you would end up with this V shape, like a slant going this way and the other way. You could continue to work this up. So for instance, we did 18 rows, then we did 3 rows for the ties. But if you want this slope to be deeper or longer, then you do say 20 rows and then 3 rows for the ties. So you have 23 in total. But here we have you have 21. So now my yarn is still attached to the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this over the other side like so. However you want to place it. If you want to place it like this, however, there's no right or wrong side because we were going back and forth. So this is the excess tail from the other side. I'm going to make sure to crochet over this just so I don't have to worry about weaving in that end. So now I am deciding to lay this like so. Put my hook on the other side. That side also has a tail, so I'm going to make sure to lay it like this. So I'm just inserting my hook here on the other side of the project. I will pull my yarn from the other side and pull through. I will yarn over, chain one. Now I can start to crochet along this end. Crocheting along this end, I'm going to be doing single crochets like so. So I'll be doing 2 single crochet per mesh space. You can do 3 if you would like, but I'm going for 2. Just single crochet, making sure that I lay my yarn over so I can avoid weaving into many ends. So the other tail I'm going to lay over like so I can crochet over. So you will match this mesh to the other mesh on the other side. Since we have the same number, by the time you get to the end of the project, you'll have completed both mesh space on this side and on the other side. I hope that makes sense. So inside the second one, I'm going to single crochet 2. Again, I will place this and this side. So these 2. All this excess strand is my ends that I'm crocheting over, just so it's easier for me. But if you prefer to weave in your ends, then you can do that. You don't have to lay the extra yarn or excess tail. You don't have to crochet over them if you don't like that. I just find this is easier for me. So again, I'm just doing simple single crochets across till I get to this end. I have gotten to the end of the slant or slope. I'm just going to pull and cut. I'm going to cut this too. So I used 4 balls of this. This is what I have of the third and the fourth balls. So that might help to let you know how much yarn you need. Now I'm just going to be looking around for things like this. So now what is left is to weave in this end on the top and this end on the bottom, these tails. This is where I started, this is where I ended my project. I'm just going to take this off and turn this the other way. So I also have something here, just cut. I know my scissors is very dingy, but I have a sentimental attachment to those scissors. Um so this is what it's looking like. You can see that slope. I believe that this helps the durag to fit better over the head because you know our head is not square or rectangle. Okay guys, to spruce this durag up, I went ahead to make 4 of each. I'm going to show you what they look like. I made this, looks like this, and I also made this one. You have to assemble this one like this. So I'm going to be tacking this onto the durag. I'll be linking the tutorials that I followed for each of these down below. I think you should check them out. They're so explanatory, like they're really good tutorials. So if you like to add this, but you don't have to, you can obviously have your durag like this one. It doesn't have anything. Okay guys, this is the final look of the durag. It looks like this. I ended up using um 7 of the appliques. I didn't use the last one because I just didn't think I had space for it. I could put it here, but I have the bigger one, so I didn't want to do that. um I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and it was easy. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll be happy to get to them. So a few notes. First, I would make this longer. So this is the one I made that is long or to the desired length. And I was saying in the beginning of the video that I wanted to make it a little bit shorter, but I think now it is too short. It's fine on me, but like to look awkward, to be an awkward length or someone that is taller than me. And typically durags are usually very long, so it just looks a little bit off. Another thing is, I would advise that you block this so that it can drip better. This one, I don't believe I blocked it or washed it. I don't think so. But because I've made this weeks ago, it has relaxed and you can see that it hangs better. It just feels a little bit better. This one is still stiff. I don't know if it's showing up on camera or if I'm just being like too picky. But I would block it or hold on a bit for it to relax. You could also just use a spray bottle. Mine is very dusty, so yeah, okay. I sprayed this down. I remember now. So I haven't done that to this. I would do that. I'm just very excited to get this tutorial to you guys. So those are the notes I have on the DURAG. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I hope that the tutorial is like explanatory. Also, let me know if you prefer it with the appliques or without. I think this is a little bit more classy or classic, and then this one is like in your face. I feel like pairing this with even what I have on, a pair of jeans and a basic tee, people will give you a second look because you look fire. I think. But yeah, sometimes you might have this going on. All you have to do is just pull or tug, and you should be fine. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.